Hello, this is Craig, and this morning I was watching a video where some guys were doing agentic coding using ChatGPT compared to Claude Code or Claude compared to Gemini, and they were using the browser. So they would go to ChatGPT and say, "I want a blank sketch or whatever," and they'd copy that code and paste it into the Arduino IDE, compile it, and then if they wanted to change it, they'd go back to the browser and they'd use copy and paste. And that way is the way we used to do it about a year ago, probably a little bit longer than that. Uh, so I've been using Claude Code for a little bit more than a year, and I don't do that anymore. And I use Claude Code about 5 or 6 hours a day. And I want to show you not how to use Claude Code, but how to use Codex. And we're going to use the Codex desktop app. So I downloaded it from here, from ChatGPT, and I have it installed. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to use it to create a blink sketch for this really old Arduino pre-Uno board. So let's see how far we can get with this. So we're not going to use the IDE. We're going to use the Arduino CLI, and we're only going to work with this Codex desktop app, and we'll see how to do that, and kind of bring people up to speed on how code development is actually done today. So let's go back over. I'm going to switch over to Codex here. And the way we're going to work is we're going to work in a project. So we're going to start from scratch, and we'll just call this blank. And we're going to I have a transcription thing on here, so I just get to talk into my prompt here. So I have a pre-Uno board connected to my machine, and I want to create a blink sketch that I think, let's just try that. Create a blink sketch. All right, so we'll send that in. Here we go. Now you notice I didn't say anything about Arduino at all, okay? So it says the workspace is empty. It looks like it created a directory called Blink. There's no CLI, okay, unusual path, so it's going to have to figure out how to do that. We either need to install the CLI or the IDE, okay? So it's running this thing here. Let's see where it goes. It's doing a quick check of the serial ports. All right, so it created this blink sketch, and we can look at this. All right, so it's just a standard blink sketch. It defines D13. I didn't even tell it it was D13. Okay, it's high and low with 1,000 millisecond delay. Okay, that sounds good. I think it's one of these. I think it's a clone of this. It's a clone. Can you install the Arduino CLI and compile it for my board? And then when you get it compiled, go ahead and flash it. So it knows it's this decimilla. I don't even know how to pronounce that. It does have an Arduino 328 on it. Okay, so we can close. Let me see if I can get this to be smaller. Get this over here. All right, it says, do you want to download the Arduino CLI binary and install it into this workspace? Yes. I'm going to hit the yes there. So you can just read what it says here. It's got the official install page. It found that. And it's going to install it in my workspace so it doesn't fool with my existing system. Okay. It installed correctly. Now let's see if it's going to compile it. So while we're waiting, I'm going to tell you when you get to, oops, no, I'm going to bring you back here. Looks like it's going to be pretty fast here. So I'm going to tell you oh, here we go. Do you want to let the Arduino CLI download the official AVR board core? Yes. So in the evolution of a year of using Claude Code for 5 or 6 hours a day, oh, I got a Norton block. It will allow that app there. Okay. Uh, the tools have evolved dramatically in the last about 14 months. In fact, since November, there's a massive change, and a lot of people are relying solely on doing agentic coding. And what you end up being is you end up being like a project manager, and you just kind of can talk to the tools and tell it what you want the tool to create, and get it working on your boards. So that's the way we're looking at it today. Okay, it says the compile hit a Windows file system permission snag. Do you want to let the compiler with the normal file system access it? So we'll go ahead and say yes here. Now, when you give it these permissions, oh, look, it compiled it successfully. Now it's going to try to flash it. Do you want the CLI to inspect the serial port so you can choose which one to go from? All right, COM9, that's fine. Now you can go ahead after you use this tool for a while, you understand a lot about how it's working, and you can say not just yes, but yes, and don't ask again during the session, and it really accelerates your turn cycle. You'll see here in just a minute. Now you'll see that I only downloaded one file, and I installed one program. I didn't install the CLI, I don't have anything else running. We'll see how well this does. Hopefully this gets the job done. I don't know what it's trying to do here. The programmer's not responding. All right. Great. Uh, it probably has an old bootloader. Try an older bootloader. Oops. Okay, stop that. It probably has an older bootloader. Oh, come on. No, it's not that one. I want to try it. Oh, it flashed it. Oh, look. It's blinking. All right. So, uh, uh, so now this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets really interesting because so I have my tools set up. So I download a Codex and I just talk to Codex and I had to install the tools, create my sketch, compile my sketch, and flash my sketch. Now it took a little while to get this going, but this is now from this point on, we can just talk to Codex and have it change on my sketch. So let's go back to that. Let's do a little bit of that. Increase the blink rate to 10 times a second. And you'll see over here that it changed. It didn't change. Okay, so red means it removed and green means it added back in. And now it's asking me, do you want to compile in Flash? I'm going to say yes, and don't ask again for this section. All right, so what it's going to do is, so it compiled and it flashed it. You can see that it's now running at 10 times a second. Let's change it. Let's change it another way. I would like to change it to be on for 100 milliseconds and off for 900 milliseconds. Now you see, I didn't use the word LED. I didn't do anything. I just used the word it. All right. So now it compiled it and flashed it again. So now you'll see that I have a short blink and a long off time. Let's tell it to do the reverse, and you can kind of see what's going on up here. So it did an LED high for 100 milliseconds and low for 900 milliseconds. I'm going to say reverse that. Now it's going to flip the pulse, so it's 900 milliseconds on and 100 milliseconds off. So it changed our file up here, and it compiled it, and it's going to flash it. And now we'll see that it's on for a long time, and it's off for a long time. So at this point, you can connect anything to this board. Codex, Claude Code, or Gemini, or any of these tools are going to be able to do this. I just chose Codex today because it's very fast currently, and it's just one download, and you'll be programming quickly. And now I can do this with ESP32s, which is what I primarily use. I've done it for 8266 boards. I've done it on this board here. I did a whole video series on this board here. This board is an icebreaker. This is a FPGA on it, and I had Claude Code assist me for generating Verilog for this board. Sorry, for this board here. This is the icebreaker. And so it's a new world. I encourage you to try this and see what happens for you. All right, thanks for watching.